Salutations everyone, Salutations here, and I'm back with another power scaling video. As many of you are already aware, my channel is a hub for detailed power scaling discussion, particularly centered around the expansive universes of Dragon Ball and Naruto. So in today's video, I'm eager to embark on a journey through the intricate power scaling art of Naruto, and putting him under a microscope to assess his capabilities and see just how his war arc self would fare when placed in the different arcs of Dragon Ball Z. But before we get into talking about that, please consider supporting the channel by liking the video, commenting your thoughts down below, and subscribing to the channel. Also click that notification to know when I upload. And finally, check out my Patreon where you can get some fantastic awards and help support the channel. To set the stage, we'll be scrutinizing Naruto at the end of the war, specifically during his time as Final Valley Naruto, at the peak of his strength during Shippuden. Our objective here is to explore Naruto's capabilities such as strength and speed to see how he would fare in each arc of Z, meticulously scrutinizing his abilities just to see where he'd scale, though of course we will be giving Naruto some benefit of the doubt here. Now you might be wondering why I'm excluding OG Dragon Ball from this discussion. Well, the rationale behind this is straightforward, and there is no version of end of series Naruto that is losing to OG Dragon Ball. That is the discussion, no dispute. So without further ado, let's dive into the intricate power scaling world of Naruto and dive into Naruto's strength. When we delve into Naruto's strength at the conclusion of Shippuden, most power scales will often find themselves navigating between two primary scales, the universal scale and the 4D scale. So in this video, I'll be giving a comprehensive guide to both scales. So let's kick things off with the universal Naruto scale. The universal scale is rather straightforward, revolving around Kaguya and her expansive truth-seeking orb. Black Zetsu explicitly states that Kaguya intended to destroy her entire dimension with this orb, a dimension referred to as a universe in the 4th data book, using the term Sekai. Now, the interpretation of Sekai has sparked heated debate, as it could signify society, a planet, or the universe. But given the absence of a society and more than one singular planetary body, it is logical to infer that Kaguya's destruction of this universe should be a universal feat. Now, some would argue that Kaguya drew energy from the entire Shinobi Alliance, suggesting this would not scale to her base state. However, the databooks explicitly state that she created her entire dimension, and when Zetsu mentioned her intention to destroy them, he implied she was going to create an entirely new dimension, a time-space if you will. This would unequivocally put Kaguya to, if not surpassing, universal levels. But then what about 4D? Well, the 4D scaling is rather straightforward. As I mentioned earlier, Zetsu declared that it will be the start of a new time-space, indicating Kaguya was creating an entirely new time-space continuum. Popular wikis like character stats and profiles and verses about wiki qualify these feats on the 4th dimensional levels. Admittedly, this is only if you use these wikis that you can classify this as 4D, but since we're being generous to Naruto and Dragon Ball, we'll be allowing it. Now with strength covered, how far does Naruto get into speed? When it comes to evaluating speed, there are various approaches we can go from. And since we're using a semi-highball interpretation, let's kick things off with rewinding back to part 1. When Gaara was a child, his automatic sand defense was able to block a point-blank range explosion. This is clocked in at roughly Mach 29, or 29 times the speed of sound, and this is Gaara before any form of training. And we know Gaara should be getting faster and faster and faster, especially when he fights Lee, when he fights Kimimaro. So this should easily put characters at the end of series easily into the faster than light categories. This aligns with guidebook statements like how the Anbu are claimed to be light speed, and Itachi's Water Fang Bullet also moving at light speed. This is relevant for characters like Kakashi, who scales above the average Anbu in all physical stats, and we know he was able to effortlessly dodge the Water Fang Bullet at point blank range. And this is noteworthy because this is Kakashi during the pre-time skip. We know he got stronger over the time skip, and Naruto, right after the time skip, was able to keep up and engage in combat with this stronger version of Kakashi. Now, some may argue that the Raikage statement in the guidebooks of him being near light speed would contradict this, but the evidence in the manga and guidebooks simply make that an outlier statement. This is similar to Frieza being only planetary in the tournament of power via claiming that his blast was strong enough to destroy a planet. Like, that's impressive. So by the conclusion of Shippuden, Naruto's scaling should comfortably put him in the massively faster than light plus category based on the present scaling. And that's without even factoring that Kakashi as a child was able to cut a lightning bolt in half. So then that begs the next question, how exactly does he fare against Z? Well, let me show you. Now, when assessing Naruto's potential matchups against the Z sagas, it becomes very evident that he easily clears the Saiyan and Frieza saga without breaking a sweat. Now, some may raise the argument of universal Frieza, but there's a lack of sufficient evidence that puts Frieza at that level. However, he does encounter some challenges when it comes to the Cell and Buu sagas. In terms of strength, Naruto should clearly scale above the entire Cell saga, Even if one were to entertain the notion of Cell being universal, the majority of guidebooks peg him at solar system level, a sentiment echoed by the manga itself. Naruto, however, would still find some difficulties here, and that is a topic we'll delve into in this next coming section, the Buu Saga. Now when it comes to the Buu Saga, top tier characters like Goku and Kid Buu should easily scale to 4D, a conclusion drawn from the afterlife being depicted as a higher dimension than the living world. Now some interpretations have the word transcendental in them, but it's noted that in all the ChatGPT scans I have gotten, it never once says transcendental in any of them. Nonetheless, these formidable characters would pose a significant challenge in Naruto, not just in strength, but also in speed. By the Frieza Saga, characters are reaching roughly hundreds of thousands of times the speed of light, and that is neglecting the exponential nature of power levels, which could potentially escalate them to millions, if not billions of times faster than the speed of light. This presents a very big hurdle for Naruto, as he would likely lack the necessary speed to keep up with characters beyond the Frieza Saga. Now, in the defense of Naruto during the Cell Saga, one could argue that the adversaries might lack the strength to really do enough damage to him, and his endurance can outlast them as, after all, as a child, Naruto demonstrated the ability to train for 12 days straight. This is consistent with the Sage of Six Paths and his brother, who fought Kaguya for an entire month. However, his endurance argument does not hold up against the Buu Saga, which, because of the fact that most of the top tiers would be able to significantly damage Naruto and outpace him in terms of speed. So in my opinion, Naruto would 100% stop at the Buu Saga. But that's just my opinion. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and until we meet again, good luck in your power scaling endeavors.